All right, folks, back on the Bossman show. In front of the show, you see there Josh Pastner. He's a UNLV, the Runnin Rebels out there in the Mountain West. Josh, good to see you, my brother. I miss you in ATL, but I'm glad you're out there in Vegas coaching great like you always do, man.
No, well, thanks for having me join on with you. It's great to see you and great to be on with you. And I see you got the Raiders hat on, as you know, that it's the Las Vegas Raiders. You know that? So I'm actually from my office right here. I could see Allegiant Stadium where the Raiders play, obviously where UNLV plays. So we got the connection right there with the hat. I love it. It's a really cool opportunity here. Obviously and you know this as well as anybody, the history of UNLV running rebel basketball from the 80s to the 90s. Obviously won the national championship in 1990 with one of the great college teams ever. You know, you're talking about Greg Anthony, Larry Johnson, Stacey Augmon, Anderson Hunt. So go on and on. There's been so many great players here. Coach Jerry Tarkanian. Um, Bossman, I would tell you this, and I've said this, that era of the 80s and 90s, that team literally built Las Vegas to what it is today. I mean, today, Las Vegas is the epicenter, the capital of the sports world, the entertainment world. Everybody comes through Vegas, but part of the reason that is because of what that team and that era did in that 80s and 90s. It was a spectacle when they played. It was showtime. It was, and people would fly in on Saturdays. They called it in the front row their Gucci row, and they had all like the celebrities. People would be flying in all the time to be here, and just really cool to be sitting in the chair of that. Very honored and humbled. By the way, to switch to football side, by the way, UNLV football did a great job last year. You know, I mean, really good. Got a great that coach left to go to Purdue, and they got a great coach in with Dan Mullen, who was with me on television at ESPN the past couple of years. But you know, one of the great football players, I don't know how many people know this, Randall Cunningham. I
Yes.
love I loved Randall Cunningham watching him play in the NFL with the Eagles and everything. He was kind of the first dual threat quarterback before there was a dual threat quarterback that it kind of became cool to be that. And he played here at UNLV, and I didn't know that until I got here. And he lives here in Las Vegas, but I thought that was pretty cool too. That the great Randall Cunningham, as you know, as a football fan as well too, how great he was as a player.
Josh, that 15-1 Vikings team that the Falcons got in the championship game, but that was a heck of a team with him, Randy Moss, Chris Carter, Jay Greed, and the tight ends they had, and the Dennis Green, John Randall. They had a stacked roster. He was throwing them bombs down the field. It was beautiful to watch, man.
No, you're right on that. And again, like I said, I haven't met him yet, but I'm like really looking forward to meeting him. And because just being a sports fan, a football fan, I obviously watched him as a young person, watching on those Sundays, and man, was he good. And so him being here at UNLV, I think was a great quarterback here. Obviously, was really cool, and looking forward to. But as you know, there's so many great people that have come through into their field of whatever field it is, whether it's in the sports world or the entertainment world, or whether it's in the casino world. I mean, business world. Have really a lot of them. They're coming whether through UNLV or through Las Vegas. Has it's a great place of the contacts and people that you get to meet and how great this city is right now.
And the cool thing about Summer League, like Summer League, Josh, is man, and for me, I'm a big tennis guy too, Josh. So getting to meet Andre Agassi for me, my favorite
Yep.
tennis player ever, and Summer League last year was a big thing for me because I watch his matches all the time. He was cheering for him like crazy all the time. I looked at his long hair as a kid and what he was. So seeing to meet him last year, Summer League, like you said, so many people there was amazing for me, Josh.
Well, you know what? He's a big UNLV basketball fan, and I have not met him yet. I'm excited to meet him as well too. Like you, I'm a sports fan, so I love all the sports. I understand like tennis, like you have to be in such great physical condition and going back and forth. And as you mentioned, back at the time when Andre Agassi was playing with the hair and and how talented he was when he was playing. And he built the Agassi center over here at Agassiz Rec Center. In fact, in the Agassiz School, he's done a lot of give back into the community here in Las Vegas. So, as you mentioned, obviously, due to the weather and everything and the climate, you're able to play pretty much outdoors, tennis all year round. So, no, it's a big deal here, and I'm excited to meet him. And I know again, same thing, the greatness of a guy like that, the greatness of a Randall Cunningham, people like they just, again, being around in Vegas, you get to have a chance to meet some of those guys.
And how cool has it been to kind of tap into your old Pac-12 contacts, relationships that you had from your Pac-12 days? Because you're out west now, you've been out there, you're very known out there. So how cool is it for coaches to did you can talk to you about their players and guys who've known you for years? Say, hey, Josh, I'd love to have you come to see my guys. Have one of my guys come play for you, because we know you'll take care of them. You do it the right way, and you'll show them the right way as well.
Yeah, I mean, what I would tell you I mean, it's been great. I mean, I love the West Coast. Obviously, as you just mentioned, I was out here for a long time in the West at the University of Arizona, played there and coached there. So I have a lot of, familiarity with the West Coast. And obviously, my father doing a lot of tournaments in Las Vegas for grassroots basketball. I've been coming to Vegas for 30 years and, because of for tournaments. And so I have a great comfort level and understanding of the lay of the land of the West Coast. And I can't tell you how many people would call me. First of all, everyone's coming to summer league. You know what I mean? I've had so many people say, "Can I? Can I?" No, I really got to tell. Like, I don't have enough time during the. I won't have it because everyone's wants to like come and see me. I'm like, I won't have enough time. I mean, I've got like 500 people that want to schedule meetings with me. I'm like, there's just not going to be enough time today because, like as you just mentioned, everybody comes to Vegas for the summer league, but which is a good thing. But the other thing is, I can't tell you how many times people say, "Coach, man, I love Vegas. I love coming to Vegas."
I think you froze there. We're good though. I think you froze.
I think I froze. Are you good? Are we back on?
We're back on live radio, people. Kajosh is back with us. He froze.
Okay, okay.
Took
Are we on live or are we taping this?
a little bit of both.
A little bit of both. Okay, good stuff. Well, anyway, I don't know what happened there. Hey, you know what? Maybe it was Area 51 out here in Vegas, and the aliens came and took, and intercepted the
You
internet
were saying
there.
that a lot of people tell you, Coach, I love coming to Vegas, so you can
Yeah,
finish.
so everyone loves coming to Vegas and being in the West Coast. That's what happens because, as you know, so many people love coming through here and having an opportunity to come to Vegas. It's one of the top, obviously, tourist attractions in the entire world, not just in the United States, but in the entire world, as you know. And you know this when you think of like Las Vegas, UNLV, it's globally known. I mean, it's worldwide known because and you can really get here very similar to where I came from and where you're at in Atlanta, because of the airport, you can get pretty much anywhere nonstop. Same thing here in Vegas because every city, it flies into Vegas nonstop, because different
Yes.
airlines because everybody wants to come to Vegas. It's a very lucrative deal to have everyone constantly flying in and flying out because people love coming here.
I'm looking forward to when the NBA expands there. That's coming soon. That's coming. I'm breaking news is coming soon. So we'll be have a team in Vegas sometime before 2030. So I look forward to that trip as well, coming to Vegas. And
Well, let me just say this, how this has grown. As you know, being a sports guy yourself, I mean, the no-no of the NCAA of Las Vegas. I mean, they were so anti Las Vegas. Well, 2028, the Final Four's here. The sports world's never wanted teams here. Well, now you got the Raiders. Now you've got the WNBA team, the Aces. You got the Oakland A's, who will now be the Las Vegas. They're moving to Las Vegas now, the Major League Baseball team. As you mentioned about, they got the Golden Knights NHL team. You got, as you just mentioned, eventually there's going to be an NBA team. As I said, the Final Four, obviously headquarters of UFC. In fact, I think a UFC fight was just at State Farm there in Atlanta
yep,
last
Saturday night.
Saturday. And they're obviously headquartered here. And so, yeah, so it's just, kind of the whole thing has changed. And what's interesting, and not talking, because gambling has obviously a lot of people think of Vegas because of the casinos, the gambling, the shows, and all that. But obviously now with gambling and stuff, I mean, it's becoming legalized pretty much in all 50 states. And some of it's now that because you can just do it on your phone. And I'm not telling anyone to gamble. That's not my deal. I'm just saying that because of that, it has probably allowed the sports world and the sports scene to loosen up to say, you know what? Because beforehand, everyone was scared to come to Vegas because of the gambling aspect. But now it's pretty much legal all throughout the country, and you can do it via pretty much via online and on your phone. So they're like, let's just open it up, and that's why you're seeing the influx of professional sports leagues, the NCAA having their championship. Why do you see all the different league offices starting to move to Vegas? It's just
Yes.
things are just opening up here in Las Vegas. Great time to be here.
And think about this, Josh. For me personally, 4 of my 10 sponsors are now sports books or gambling sites.
Yeah, that's the way.
And
I mean,
used to, I wouldn't do that, but now it's so popular now, I can't get fall behind the times. I had to get if I want money, I had to get in the game with it.
well, now you look at it, and as you mentioned, you go on X and you just scroll through. I mean, how many times do you see some different gambling, like you said, online and different NBA guys, pro athletes endorsing it or being part of it. So yeah, just hey, a lot. We're in 2025, so a lot has changed from being in 2005, if that makes sense.
You know, it's funny, Josh. My father said to me today, he said, you and Josh have grown up together. You don't know that, right? I said, think about the year we have from Memphis on. My dad said to me, you've been talking to him since you was back in Nashville in 14. I said, I know. It's funny. It's 11 years we've still been doing this thing together, man.
No, that's great. And it seems like yesterday time flies, and it's been a great thing. And I like you and I have talked about it. I mean, my time there at Memphis, I loved it. I mean, loved my time there. Great people. Loved my time at Georgia Tech, and um, loved everyone there. Loved all the players I got to coach. Loved the guys I got to work, the coaches I got to work with. The people, I loved Atlanta. Loved, the people. The whole institute. Obviously to be there and just understanding how, and this, Bossman, just Georgia Tech, just the institute, how incredible people that are coming out of there. Forget athletics for a second, just the amount of graduates of who's coming out of there and the next wave of people that are in what they're inventing or whatever it may be. That's in the world of that's going to better everyone's life down the road. So it was a real honor to be there at Georgia Tech and a real honor to be at Memphis and now a real honor to be here at UNLV.
Josh, this Josh for you. Being in TV, you did a heck of a job. I told you that probably did a heck of a job there. How much did it help you as a basketball coach kind of see other styles and kind of maybe what you want to borrow here and put in your system going forward now? Kind of how was it good for you to kind of improve as a coach to grow and develop now, watching other guys being on TV, watching the games as much as you did?
Well, when you're doing television, you're able to see so many different teams operate. You're able to go to so many different practices and shoot arounds, go to so many different behind the scene film sessions and see how different people run their program with two things. One, without the pressure of having that you're under the pressure of winning and losing, because you're going to be prepared. TV, as you know, in media, you have to be prepared, but your decision is not going to come down to make the win or loss of that game. So you have to be prepared, but you don't have to decide how you're going to guard the ball screen that night because you might have an idea, but in the end, you're not involved in the winning and losing of it. And so you're able to really see things in that way without the pressure of on your shoulders of trying to win that game. So you really can take a step back and see things at a 30,000-foot view. And then secondly, to be able to go behind the scenes and talk to coaches and see what different people do. When you're coaching, when I was at Memphis or Georgia Tech, I mean, Mike Young at Virginia Tech, who's a dear friend of mine, I'm just making this as an example. He wasn't going to let me come watch his practices or shoot around. I think he's a really good offensive coach. I wanted to learn some things. Well, when I'm competing against him, he's not going to say, "Hey, I want you to come to a couple of my practices," because I'm playing against you in the league. He's not going to allow me to do that, and so they're going to be guarded in their information. Now, when I wasn't coaching, I was able to, like, if I had a game, I called a Virginia Tech Louisville game. I'm just making that up. I was able to go to his practice, sit down and talk, ask how they ran this play, that play. How did you design your system? And I was able to get all that information to make me a better coach in the preparation for this opportunity here at UNLV.
And I want to ask you this because no, Turner Sports is also off the NBA. You were doing March Madness Live with Tony, Delk, Randolph, and those guys, and Jared. Talk about working with the team at Turner. I've been around them myself in Atlanta, of course, and how cool is it to be around those guys. But how cool is it to kind of get involved in that Turner family, doing March Madness Live with those guys, and how they treated you behind the scenes, how prepared they were with their grabbing, the thing they do to kind of make the broadcast very entertaining for the listener for us to stay tuned in the whole time.
Yeah, Turner was awesome. I mean, I loved great people there, and as you mentioned, Tony Delk, awesome. Randolph Childress, awesome. Jared Greenberg, who was our host over that for the fast break this last year, awesome. And so really had a blast. Obviously, all the producers, the bosses, everyone there. It's a high, it's high level. I was very fortunate and grateful and appreciative and blessed to be able to be part of that. And as you know, I worked for them, worked for ESPN, worked for CBS Sports, worked for NBC Peacock. I mean, the amount of people that I met, colleagues, producers, bosses, it was a tremendous experience, and it kind of allowed me to kind of have a second career, and was very, as I mentioned, just beyond grateful, sincerely appreciative, thankful to be able to work for all four different networks.
And Josh, your joy came through the TV screen, buddy. I must tell you, and we could tell you that you was enjoying yourself. You loved it. You was teaching the basketball to us as listeners. It was great to listen to you guys. Because I know you personally, I'm like, it was cool to see. I know you personally, like he's loving this, man. This is great to see, and listeners really enjoyed hearing you. I'll see the tweets how good you were explaining the game of basketball to people. So I want to tell you, you did a great job, man, as a media member for those 2 years, man.
No, I really enjoyed it. I learned a lot. It was a great opportunity. I had fun with it. I had a blast with it. But as you know, I mean, there's a lot of work. There's a lot of preparation. It's not for everybody. You've got to have an understanding of being able to deliver your thought or your comment in a much concise way. You learn how to kind of dismount, to get in and get out. Not, if you go too long and you get too wordy, as you lose that objective. And learning some other things on presentations, on how you're presenting, it will make me a better speaker even in the future, dealing with that. And I have a greater understanding of dealing with the media and what goes behind it, behind the scenes, and all those good things with that.
And Joshua, his man, you hired a great staff, man. I want you to talk about having a high quality staff, having guys you can trust, you can do things, fundraise, go out in the community. How cool it is to have a staff that you have that's really about the business of Las Vegas, really knows what you're about, and loyal to you and understand your vision and mission.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think staff hiring is critical. I mean, there's really an art to hiring, and I hired a great staff. And that staff is so important for the success that you want to have as a program. And I hired really good people, which is most important. Hired really good coaches. Hired really good talent evaluators and really good communicators and hiring of people um, and I'm really excited about the opportunity to work with the group that we have here in Las Vegas at UNLV.
And Josh, this summer for you, which you've been a first year there at UNLV, how much is going to be team stuff this summer, or is it be a lot of individual work, or a little bit of both, kind of get ready for August here when you get the four coaching days, coaching practices before November 3rd comes the fast and furious here for us?
I think it'll be a mix of both. There'll be a mix of both, but more than installing a system, we want to install a mentality. What does that mean? Installing the mentality of what we want to accomplish, of how we want to compete, the level of intensity that we want to play with, how we want to do it, what we want to do. But it's all about more mentality, more so than system oriented. And so I think those type of things are what we want to do for this summer to accomplish. We have a couple things that we want to make sure that we're locked in on, and then kind of go from there.
And Josh, for you, teach your young men about recovery. That's really big now. The recovery piece is so big, nutrition is so big. Talk about how important it is for your strength coach, your nutritionist, dietitian, and your training staff to really make your young men get to that recovery piece and sleep well as well, so they can, be at peak performance come February, March when the games are most important.
Well, I just actually texted our guys on our group chat last night about again just reminding about hydration because of the being here in the dry heat with the lack of humidity, even though it's 106, 108, 110, and you might not sweat as much as you would in the South, there in Atlanta or in Memphis. So you've got to be constantly hydrating with water all the time. And but being in great conditioning, you know this how our teams have always been about the conditioning part and being in good shape and being able to be competitors and competitive excellence. All that stuff's important to me, but you can't do that unless you're in tremendous shape to be able to do it. And those things are important, and we'll make sure we talk about that. I mean, that is especially now these days with the guys getting paid. I mean, they're pretty much as close to being a professional as possible. You know, the nutrition aspect's just as important.
That's what I'm for you, Josh, man. And what's been the coolest spot for you and your family, man, in Vegas since you've been there that you all kind of frequent a lot when you're not in the office grinding away, man?
I'll tell you what, boss man, I've been in the office quite a bit. I haven't had a lot of time other than to work. And you know what? I got the job in like March 24th, and I've been in a hotel ever since. My family's still in Atlanta, but they are coming out sooner than later. I'll get them here. My kids had to finish school and they've got activities, and as much as I miss them, I just there's nothing I could have done because when we took over and it was just starting. I mean, we had a whole new team because everybody was in the portal, so it was morning, noon, and night, 7 days a week. But at some point here, at some point in the summer, we'll get them back up here, and I'll be able to explore the rest of Vegas. But I've been able to drive around. Listen, I've gone out to eat every night. The food here is incredible. Incredible restaurants, incredible food. But I've been able to drive. I have a great appreciation of the mountains and the surrounding areas and all those type of things. So that's been really cool. And one of these weekends, when we don't have anything and things have kind of slowed down, I might want to take a drive. Like you can go up to like Mount Charleston or go to Utah and just drive up, or go up to some different mountains and just take a drive. You know what I mean? Or so. But in the short term, right now, it's been 7 days a week, 24/7. I've always said this. Vegas is 24/7. The basketball coach at UNLV needs to be 24/7.
No doubt. That's a great way to tag you, Josh. Good seeing you, my brother. It's awesome to see you, man. I'm gonna be cheering for you as always, and I'm gonna be having you on the show down the road, buddy. And I'll see you in Summer Leagues. But if you're not too busy, I'm gonna go see you in Summer League, man.
I look forward to seeing you when you're out here in July, my friend. Absolutely. For you, anything, anytime.
Thanks, buddy. I'll see you soon, Josh. It's always fun, brother.
Okay. Thank you.